lot of aspiring pilots ask us what they should expect from a discovery flight. The truth is that because of the emotions involved, it's a different experience for everyone. It depends, too, on your personality and that of your instructor. These are the variables. But at the most basic level, you'll become acquainted with an instructor and an airplane. Pilot Journey went along on a discovery flight recently with San Diego-based instructor Glenn Daly, as he introduced a prospective student, this is Bruce, to a new way of looking at the world.
How familiar are you with general aviation airplanes?
The start will be simple enough. The instructor will find a contextual base for the lesson and tailor his approach to your level of experience. Soon enough, you'll be inside the cockpit going over the basics of the controls and instruments. This first lesson can flood a prospective student with information, and while all of it is important in the long run, for a first flight you don't need to worry about absorbing every detail. The idea is to give you a sense of how an airplane operates and why. Your instructor will explain the instrument panel and likely encourage questions along the way. This segment could last about 10 to 15 minutes, but the amount of time to devote to each phase of the introduction really depends on you, within the time you've reserved with your instructor. This particular introduction lasted about 2 hours, but most discovery flights may take less time, with about half an hour to 45 minutes spent in the air. Heading outside, students will immediately learn the value of checklists. A pilot's checklist is derived from the resolution of every pilot's previous mistake, so whenever possible, a pilot follows his checklist directly, because the list makes sure you don't forget those things that other pilots have. Following checklists and adding your own experience will help you stay safe and happy for many years to come. Prior to each flight, a pilot walks through a pre-flight inspection of his aircraft. This is something you do as a student, and it will likely be a part of your discovery flight too. Here you'll learn a bit about the mechanics that facilitate flight. Our instructor, Glenn, manipulated the control surfaces and pointed out their attachment and operational mechanisms. Pre-flight inspection takes you around the entire aircraft, making sure that all its vital parameters are up to spec. That includes fuel and engine oil levels, checking the fuel for contaminants, and more. As you go, your instructor and the ever-present checklist will be your guide. You'll see and touch essential elements of the aircraft right down to the hinges of the control surfaces. You'll visually check fuel levels by looking into the aircraft's fuel tanks. Different kinds of airplanes have different personalities, and you'll learn some quirks of the particular type of aircraft you'll be flying. Soon enough, it will be time to go fly. It doesn't matter if you've only absorbed 60% of what was just thrown at you. This is a first flight. It's designed to give you a sense of what to expect from life as a pilot, not to turn you into one in 2 hours. The idea is to have you involved in the process, to see and smell things firsthand, and to start manipulating the controls of an aircraft for the first time. Your instructor will be there for your education and comfort. He'll allow you to perform those things you can and instruct or show you how to do those things you'll soon be able to do yourself. Our student, Bruce, took quickly to controlling the aircraft on the ground, where steering is accomplished with your feet. In the run-up area, our instructor, Glenn, again put Bruce's mind a step ahead of the airplane, describing what would be happening in the next few minutes after we took the runway. What comes next will depend on your own abilities, your comfort level, and your instructor. It is possible that you will, having never flown before, fly the aircraft off the ground on this very first flight. Takeoff is not a complicated affair, especially with an instructor sitting by your side with his hands also on the controls, fixing all those things you don't yet know to look out for. This is where the real magic begins, where physics and faith combine through your hands to send you into the air. It does not take a very special person to fly an airplane. It takes a special person to learn to fly an airplane well. That reward, like most others worth winning, involves some discipline and determination. What you'll find out is that it's those things that really make you special. The flying, well, that's just a really big bonus. Go to pilotjourney.com today and enroll in a discovery flight. It will change your life.